Hello.
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
So we're a little bit, we've only got one interview today. It could be a little bit more extended one. We'll explain why in a minute. But we've got lots coming up. So the next 2 weeks, we've got some very, very interesting interviews coming up as well. Very excited to give you some new news, which I'll be posting on the website soon. So, but first of all, to our present guest, and we might be interrupted actually because the window cleaner's just turned up
cleaner
outside.
out there, and he's about to.
He's about to splatter the windows like with a high pressure
Also,
hose.
just to let you know, I saw a woodpecker. We saw a woodpecker this morning out on the grass. I tried to get a photo, but he kept one.
A green woodpecker.
So gutted. He's green, his red head.
Yes, Mary thinks it's a good omen. I'm not quite sure why.
I loved it.
Personally, it makes me think of cider, which I don't like, but never mind. Anyway, if she thinks it's a good omen, I'm perfectly happy to go with
It's
that.
unusual. You don't normally see a woodpecker like out in the garden.
You don't, it's true. Anyway, moving on. Back to the focus on art. And so far we're wittering on, and we haven't introduced this lovely third person that's with us, which is Teresa. Who is Teresa?
Morning, Teresa.
Morning.
And she is from OODLEDOO. So my first question is obviously going to be, what is OODLEDOO?
Right.
That's very helpful, isn't it? We're going to go round in a circle here. Fantastic.
So basically, OODLEDOO is creative workshops. So they're based on a therapeutic way of working with charities and communities and people that have had some sort of either trauma or things like that. So it's not art therapy, but it's a way of just facilitating a nice little safe space that people can work, do some creative work, and also chat about things which they can relate to each other.
So this is you and Teresa working together?
Yes.
There you are. Let's just clarify this a moment. So I have to say, why OODLEDOO? Well, who came up with the name?
Well, it was a bit of both.
A joint decision, wasn't it? I think I came up with a doodle, and then we were trying to work around doodle, and then
OODLEDOO. OODLEDOO.
we tried doodle something, and that was
Singing
already
it doesn't
taken.
really help quantify why you
Well, no.
It's OODLEDOO. It kind of makes doodle do doodle doodle.
Because you're doodling.
It's a
Okay.
doodle doodle. It's that kind of thing. Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah, it is. So did this come out of the pandemic? Was this born out of the pandemic?
Not necessarily.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was you and I having worked together, wasn't it? As
Yeah.
well-being.
I think that's right. So basically, I suppose we go a bit back the background. I mean, obviously, I've been interviewed before, but I didn't really tap into the other side that I have done.
Mm-hmm.
So years ago, obviously, I told you I had the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when I had the shop, I started doing work with several charities doing art workshops.
Right.
So I worked with people like Richmond Fellowship, Be Eat, and BCHA. I used to go there, and RISE, which was domestic abuse. So I devised these lessons, which is what we'll follow on to with OODLEDOO. A structure of like about 4 to 6 weeks, so that each one had a theme, but they're all rolled in. So basically I set them little tasks, so they'd come in, and some had social anxieties and so forth, and I developed these kind of fun workshops that they could start creating. They didn't have any art experience.
So hang on, do the people come to you, or do you go into places where they already are asking for help?
So they came to me. I did go to a couple of them, but with OODLEDOO we go to them and they can come to us. It depends. It just depends on what they want. I mean, the Richmond Fellowship, there's a group of 12, so they came to me in my shop. So I had it all set out as a long desk and blah 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 and all the materials. But you can go either way. So it could be online, it could be.
Right.
But
what do the people that come to you hope to get from this?
So basically, did you want to speak to
Well, it's really a means to be able to get together with other people, especially through the...
So they don't necessarily know each other
then? No. It's sort of we like to think it's going to be like a relaxed way to join in with something that you don't feel pressurised in doing, because we always explain you don't have to be good at art to do it. You just need to get some, or not need to, but it'd be nice to get some enjoyment out of doing something arty,
Right.
but it just means that people, I like to think, don't feel so, it's not such a formal setting, it's in an informal setting, so people hopefully feel more relaxed in being able to open up and chat to each other, and we sort of give them like ideas of what, you know, to have a go at something, just to sort of get them into the sort of arty side of things. But we're not saying, oh, you need to do it this way, or it's got to be that way,
So
or
it's
you've
not
got to
art
use.
instruction.
It's
No,
not art instruction, no. It is more about expressing. So, if, say, for example, we can talk about one of our little lessons, can't we? So, what we do is we do warm-ups, and then we do drawing exercises, and then we have theme. It all rolls into one, and they do develop something from the end of it.
Right.
So, we would then do things like portraiture. So then we would look at that, like, so this would be something like they draw each other or they draw themselves, and then there's certain types of things that we're going to demonstrate later.
Aha, demonstration.
Demonstration, guys. And then so this kind of exercise is kind of like, it's almost like dropping their barriers.
Yeah.
And then they start talking, and it's amazing how it works. You don't even, we just sit there.
We just sit back and let them get on with it.
And they just talk about their problems. And because I've got to take my glasses off, they're a bit dirty. No, they're really dirty. Window cleaner. So what it is basically they start talking to each other because they're they're all linked in terms of what their problems are. With Richmond and Fellowship, I'll just go back to Richmond and Fellowship quickly. They all suffered with anxiety and depression and things like that. And this is a charity that helps them. They all meet up and they do activities. It's important to do activities. And what it does, it kind of gets them used to a social setting. Like for instance, when I started doing work with them, you could see that they were so nervous about doing this workshop because some of them were getting quite, but once they sat down and we just had fun with it and we go, right, let's do this. And that some of these exercises that we've done, they're quite quick. So what it does, it stops them thinking and it frees up their mind. But then what happens is it's amazing how it works. They just become kind of calm. It's just a really interesting way of doing something without actually sitting there going, being like a counsellor, because we're not counsellors.
No.
I mean, we've both done training of some sort. You've done CBT.
Or CBT and basic counselling skills.
And I did that. I did CBT counselling and little smart therapy stuff. So we've got a very good idea, but it's just about not sort of judging anyone. It's just letting everyone just be who they are.
So they come for a series of classes over 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So do you notice there's a difference in between each of the weeks? So you were saying like one of the groups you taught, they had anxiety issues. Do you find that as the course progresses that does help them, or do they come in just as sort of like
no, it does help.
Yeah.
And what they found, and some of the testimonials, they really felt that they felt more confident in themselves, and they felt like the time had just gone. So they were 2-hour sessions, like we worked with Blue Sky, didn't we? They were foster carers,
yeah.
And when we were with them, wasn't it? It was so good.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Because they were all stressed out when they came in.
the foster carers.
I mean,
You don't have a bad morning before they got to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. And then once they sat down and we set them this, it just changed. Particularly one person. He was really lovely.
He really got into it.
Oh, absolutely got into it. And he literally, they all ended up buying art equipment so they could carry on doing it.
That's really good.
So there's a real powerful, it was really powerful, I thought, and actually using art, I mean, I think in terms of art itself and creativity, it's being really undernourished and obviously being taken away from curriculums and whatever. But I do believe that something like this, it's not saying, right, that you're going to learn how to draw people or do that. It's just about enjoying the process.
Yeah, and it is therapeutic.
It is.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I don't know which type of media did you give them? Were they pencils?
They could mix.
Choose, yeah.
So they could mix and choose. It could be collage. So we gave them quite a lot of
different materials.
To
work with, yeah.
And it was so good. I mean, there's an example. I've got a picture. Obviously,
yeah, this is really
if
interesting.
you,
You were showing me earlier.
If you go on to, we've got a Facebook group called OODLEDOO. OODLEDOO! Sorry. Imagine me teaching you guys. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Well, actually, it's quite hilarious. Sorry, I can't pause there. But anyway, I've got to show you this. She's laughing her head off at me. Right, okay, I'm going to get in. So this exercise, there's a big nose. This exercise came from one of the examples, is what we do. So we kind of homed in on self-portraits because this is quite a good thing. But what we did with this, we did a few sketchings for the first lesson and so forth, just to get them freeing up. And then what we did is we gave them examples of artists. So we've got, I'll just give you some example of artists here. So for instance, Richard Hamilton, Van Gogh. Okay, I'm not going to do all of them, but anyway, I will do all of them. Paul Klee, hello, and so forth. Basquiat, love a bit of Basquiat, and so on. So I'm not going to show you all of them.
So you gave them famous artists' self-portraits.
We gave them famous artists. And we gave them those pieces of paper. So what happened?
You choose which one you want to do
So
it in the style.
We didn't give it to them. We just
Well, it was there if they wanted to go with the style.
So what they did then is they created their own pictures and they used their pictures so then they could project it back and make a painting or a post, whatever. So this is the outcome. I mean, I don't know if you can really. Well, you can see it.
It's quite interesting, actually, because if you look at this top one here, these two, one is the original from the artist and one is the self-portrait of your student, yes?
I'm really rubbish at doing this. But anyway, but you can see they use their influences. And these are not artists, by the way. These are people who are in a charity or community and they are just exploring art. And as you see, it's really quite great.
This one's very interesting. There's the original, the Paul Klee, I think you said that was, and there's the self-portrait by the person that was attending the workshop.
Which was attending the workshop. So as you can see, it's some really amazing results. And these people don't touch pen and paper. They don't draw. They don't do anything creative, but they came up with something like that.
Yeah.
And by doing something like that and achieving it, they really felt more confident, more fulfilled. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was amazing, the reaction. And I mean, it's just by sitting, wasn't it? Sitting and doing it.
Yeah. An observation.
Yeah.
And you said they had anxiety issues. So that, I guess, by focusing on something like this, it takes them away from focusing on themselves all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And also being in the now. Because we do express that, don't we, Teresa? We talk about being in the now.
Yeah.
I mean, we met through working with dementia. So we worked in activities, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. That must have been.
As we laugh.
That must have been very hard working with dementia.
Absolutely.
Did you? Let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, did you find that? How did you find the art effective? I mean, how did it help the people with dementia? Did it help them?
That's difficult to actually say, really. But I think it gave them. It was something to try. It was just something different for them to have a go at. Yeah. And whether, I mean, how do you class what is successful, really? They gave it a go and didn't walk away from it. So I think that was probably successful in its own way.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of dementia, I mean, art is used, but it's a different kind of way. I mean, to be quite honest, the most successful things for dementia we found was music.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Dancing, music. Music triggers something in them, and it's amazing how they all just loved singing along to the old tunes. It triggers a
walking back.
memory for them.
Yeah.
You know, some people liked some of the drawing, but it wasn't necessarily what was really engaging for them.
No, definitely the music.
It was definitely, I mean, we were exhausted, weren't we? Jumping around, whoa! I loved it, but get those pom-poms out. You know, and it was expected of us every day.
Because you did this during lockdown, didn't you?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
we
so we couldn't get outside entertainers in to help, so it was all done down to us.
It was us who were the entertainers.
I remember talking to Mary during lockdown, and she had a very tough time, I think, doing this, because you hadn't worked with dementia before, had you?
No.
And then lockdown happened.
Absolutely, and I absolutely loved it to a degree, but absolutely exhausted as well. You know, seeing people, I mean, particularly during lockdown, I think it was very sad seeing people with dementia, you know, deteriorate because they couldn't see families, and obviously we had to deal with quite a lot of that sort of side of it, really.
You became their family almost, didn't you? Their support.
Yeah, and we were the positive light, so to speak. Absolutely dies but you know, it's a really rewarding. It was I like that side of it, but it was very, very tiring. And I, you know, hats off to everyone who has been doing care and whatever, because particularly through that time, it was exhausting. It was quite heavy, especially when it first broke out. I was working at Fairmont then. And it was just devastating. The deterioration. I don't know if I should talk about it so much, but it's kind of interesting. I think people should know about how it really affects them, even though they don't realise. Some of the dementia lot don't. They know who they are, but they don't know that it's just such a it's a sad thing. But when lockdown happened, the deterioration of the residents went down, and it was just I couldn't cope with that. It was hard.
So I mean, you went from dementia. Then, as I said, this came out of roughly around just before pandemic, or
After.
Oh,
And obviously, I did them beforehand with the shop.
Yeah.
But we started it up, didn't we? But after.
I think it was after we left there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we sort of discovered, obviously, both working in the same sort of field, that we both had this real passion for art in particular.
Yeah.
I remember saying to you, I really want to be an artist.
Yeah.
You go, so do I. And I'm not saying, you know, that we are artists because we do this particular thing, but obviously it just showed that we are both really keen on the art side of things. And then we thought, well, we're having worked in well-being, and you'd obviously done work with the charities before and everything. We thought, well, we'd like to start up something, you know, along the same lines as what you'd been doing.
Yeah, because it was so successful, and it really sort of, for me, it was like so positive to see people that are struggling enjoying something that they probably wouldn't have done before, and actually enjoying the process. And what was nice about it was listening to people talk about their tablets, but they were actually all having a laugh together.
Yeah.
You know, particularly when they've got quite a heavy schedule, like the foster carers. They were always, I mean, hats off to foster carers, by the way.
Absolutely.
When we were doing that, we understood how they, you know, what they do and how that, you know, hats off to them, because they were so interesting. Yeah. But what was nice is they just felt like they could be them and just sit and let it all out whilst they're drawing, laughing about their pictures, you know, and so forth. So it was, for me, that is a great reward.
Yeah, and it gave them the opportunity to talk to each other about their day, you know, how they were dealing with things, because they would have known each other, but not in an informal type setting. It would be more in a sort of a team meeting or something. So this was just a way they could get together in an informal setting, and we like to think perhaps they opened up more because it was informal and they were having a laugh with it. And I think it was. I think they really did. They really enjoyed it, didn't they? We got good feedback from it. So we're doing some more in Brighton. Next month, going up there. Do 4 sessions up there.
Yeah.
So it's actually a similar type of group, foster carers.
Yeah, the same company,
Yeah.
but the foster carers up there.
So you've got foster carers, you've done people with anxiety issues. Any other types of people?
Drug addiction and domestic abuse.
Ah, okay.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And a BE, which is eating disorder. I work one-to-one with a lady.
And do you do the same type of exercises with all the groups, or do you tailor it? I mean, I can imagine domestic abuse is very...
Well, actually, funny enough, I think this picture is from that.
Yeah, really?
Working with that particular charity was quite interesting. It was in Brighton. I went to Brighton to do that. And they were very, very slow at coming forward. Like they were they almost felt like that. I mean, obviously, you know, they just felt that it was. I could see the fragility of how they were feeling.
Was it all women?
Yeah.
It was all women.
Yeah.
Because you do hear about men
absolutely
being
involved
in domestic abuse
too. Exactly. Well, they do. Yeah.
Oh, look at the Johnny Depp case.
I know. I actually was really. I'm watching that like with everything. Wow.
I know.
He is. Oh, I hope he would. Anyway, we should
maybe shouldn't talk about
no, exactly. Anyway, so it was a series of 4 sessions, and then when I first started, I even got a bit nervous because I could feel
Really?
I could feel the temperature, you know, how they were feeling. And we started doing it. I thought, and some of them were not liking it. You know, it was kind of quite. But when it got further down the line, they started relaxing, and it was starting to sink in. And I just thought, wow, that it had a major effect on them actually. And I'm not saying it changed their lives, as in for the whole of that, but what it did is they understood because of. They started opening up and talking and having a bit more fun. It was really quite.
I mean, were they sent there as almost like a doctor's therapy? Because the doctors now are prescribing activities like dancing, for example, aren't they? Or was it because they belonged to an organisation and the organisation suggested
this was a charity. So Rise is the charity.
Okay.
And people, you know, people.
So it's volunteer. They're not sent along because they have to come. They choose to attend.
They choose to attend. Okay. So it wasn't. It's like the foster carers what we work with. They choose to attend. So it's not like you must attend.
Yeah.
Richmond Fellowship was, I think, just if you want to go. So they don't pressure anyone to do anything.
So they're volunteers. That's cool.
Yeah. So it is kind of like they volunteer to do something, because this is what's really good about these charities and organisations is that they try now to get these kind of activities in play. So it kind of makes them do something that's not. It's all for well-being, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do is we can do that with these organisations and carry on. But it does work, and it was felt so good. You actually get quite buzzed up about it with yourself.
Yeah.
We were rattling our brains, so we were like, how are we going to say this? Because it's just not a complete thing. Does that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. You don't know what's going to come out of it and then when you're doing it, anything can come out of it.
Yeah.
And as I say, a lot of the times you and I just give an idea, like these portraits, and then they start talking amongst themselves, and we just sit back. But that's all part of it. That's the well-being side of it. It's not for us to get involved, because we're not counsellors and we're not therapists, so it's not for us to analyse or whatever what they're saying or doing. It's just to give them a means to have a go at something that can be fun, and in doing so they chat amongst themselves and things can come out, you know, that things that have been worrying them or whatever, and they've got support around.
For people that have gone through similar experiences.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're coming to you for advice, it's just you're providing the motivation, the gel, really.
And the facilities to be able to because, you know, we want people to come to something without any stress about it, really. You just think, well, I'm just going to go, have some fun with it, and it'd be nice to chat to people in a similar sort of situation.
Do you find they start asking you for advice on art? I mean, am I doing this right? Or did they come?
Actually, They do a little bit, actually.
They get so into it, they sort of think, how would we think of this?
There was one lady, she was doing, how was it in the foster? We had to show them how to do a face. So how am I going to do a face? So we did that demonstration, didn't we? Like how you draw like the light oval and the lines, and just gave them a little bit of insight, because they were kind of getting really into it, because I don't know how to draw a face. How do I draw a face? This is a bit like, you know, but that was, we do give some instruction, we're not like totally like, but nothing to say, oh,
not a critique or anything, or try this, or you just leave it up to them.
No, we leave it up to them. We give them we don't just leave all the things.
No, I mean, we give them the tools to do the job. We give them some guidance, and then they have a little go at it. And then if they want to ask us any questions about it, we can help out.
How long do each of the sessions last for?
2 hours.
2 hours a session.
Yeah. And it's amazing how quick it goes, isn't it? When the foster carers said, "Oh, we wish it had lasted longer, and we'd have liked to have done more," because I think they were really starting to enjoy that meet-up every week, but
we'd only set it out for 4 weeks, but they definitely could have had that a lot longer, for sure.
It's something that the BCP Council could actually promote, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a kind of thing that would appeal to, because we're both fully DBS, so we can work with children and adults and elderly. So we have to have it, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, this kind of thing would work with all age ranges. You know,
I was going to ask you, actually, what is the typical age range of these types of activities?
It could be any age range. Age range.
Well, in fact, the foster carers, when we were working with them, they said, "Well, our foster children, this would be nice for the foster children to do."
Yeah, it probably would, actually, because a lot of foster children do have issues too, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So any age group, basically. Yeah. I mean, I suppose the ones we have done and previously done have been older, mature people, and obviously dementia was older as well. So, but it does not, because we can do children as well. And in fact, these kind of workshops would be quite cool with children. Would be quite fun. Yeah, quite interesting.
So you're going to give an example, weren't you?
I was.
You still want to do it?
Yes.
Oh.
We are.
I think now is your opportunity.
Is it? Although, I want to talk about Teresa. You don't know much about Teresa, by the way.
Oh, I've led an exciting life.
No, but you did the Buffalo Bill thing.
Tell
them.
Oh, well, I worked for a short period of time because I was covering someone that was shielding from COVID. So, but down in Wareham, there's a company called Dorset Wagon Company, and they build or renovate original showman wagons. And so I was there renovating a wagon that purported, I can't say the word. Yeah, that's the one. Had belonged to Buffalo Bill.
Wow.
So yeah, that was great. So, and it was.
And funny enough.
Oh yes.
I've got him tattooed on me. Look at that.
Not because of the wagon.
No,
Not because of the wagon, by the way. That's in memory of my father. He had it on his arm when he was.
No, but that was great. I mean, it was hard work because we were in a workshop because it was COVID times. All the doors were open. It was in the middle of winter. It was absolutely freezing cold. But I really enjoyed it. It was just basic sort of sanding down and filling and painting.
Lovely to see it, though, wouldn't
Oh,
it?
beautiful.
Those old
beautiful.
wagons are amazing, aren't they?
Oh, inside, so pretty.
Yeah.
The little bed at the back, all the little frilly curtains
love
up,
it.
and very cute.
I met an old gypsy who had one of those once on the side of a road. Funny that, isn't it? Ended up having a cup of tea, and he made these. And he was a Romany gypsy on the side of a road. Went and had a cup of tea with him. He put it on the stove. His cast iron. He had his little horse, and he was an old guy. Had no teeth. And he made these little flowers out of wood, and he would show me how to do it, and then he showed me these games. He'd sell them on the side of the street, but he was in Cornwall. Yeah, but when I'm thinking about your wagons, I automatically have that memory. But they are amazing, aren't they?
Oh, they are. And there's some that are made out of I don't know what they're metal, I guess. You get the big metal wagons. Oh, and very kitsch really inside, all the mirrors and everything going on inside. But Yeah, no, it was great. It was a great place to work. I wish I could have worked there longer, but the lady came back from shielding and I was out of there.
Woohoo! Come on, Weston.
Well, I was looking forward to painting the inside, with all the
Yeah.
pretty flowers and all the very delicate things, but I was gone before them. I also painted up milk churns because with the travelling community, milk churns are very popular, so that was great, painting the milk churns.
Oh, isn't it? I didn't even know that existed, that place, you know what I mean? They still do things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So that was fun.
And you're a singer. She's a singer.
Oh,
Are you
I'm a singer.
I know I'm sort of saying stuff, but you don't talk about stuff. But you're a singer as well.
I'm a singer.
Oh.
Well, I haven't done any for a while now because of the old COVID and everything. But I've been singing for about 30 years in bands and on and off.
I have to sing with Leo. He's got a nice voice too.
Yeah, she's a good singer. Loud.
Yeah.
We were in the dimension. I was like doing. You were on the piano, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
Just belting this song out. It's like we're amazing. Everyone was like, "We can sing."
Yeah,
Got a raspy
enjoy
voice,
singing.
haven't you?
Well, if you say so.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That.
I've got a rocky voice.
rocky sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And it's belting as well. It's like we were doing singing in the adventure. Sorry, we are going to do the lesson in a minute. And she started. I think that was the first time I heard you singing. I sort of stopped in my tracks.
It's quite something when you hear somebody sing properly.
Yeah, I was like, Teresa! I had my hand going.
I didn't know you could do
You
that.
could do it. Belting it out. It was amazing. Anyway, but I wanted you to sort of know a bit about.
Yeah,
this
so I
as well.
was worked in occupational therapy for 26 years at social services. So that was mainly visiting people and doing assessments around the home to see what equipment and adaptations. And then I've worked for support worker, worked for Autism Wessex. Renovated houses. Knocked down a few walls.
Hang on, I'm going to get that old book out, This Is Your Life. And we have coming through the door.
I enjoyed that because I was sort of given, I was given free rein to sort of design.
Amazing.
It, but
Yeah.
let's knock that wall down there and let's have some paint over there.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was
It's all
sort of
creative geniuses here,
creative
weren't
stuff
they?
incorporated in that. So yeah, and then well-being with Mary.
With me.
Yeah.
That was a hoot.
Hoot.
Hooty.
So what's the exercise we're going to do?
Okay, sorry, we're divulging, but I just wanted to do that.
It's okay.
So, we were going to do an exercise and a warm-up exercise, weren't we?
How are we doing for time? You
No,
all right for
well-
time?
Yeah.
So we'll do the drawing one first, which is what we discussed, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a drawing exercise which you're going to do,
Thank you.
Tracy.
Victim number. The only victim here today.
I mean, I could join in as well. We could all do it, really.
Yeah.
Couldn't we? We'd all have a go, couldn't we?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get some paper.
I just realised I managed to put my trousers on, which are covered in blue paint.
Oh, damn. All right, let's get this organised.
That's bad.
What do we need?
I'm going to get the mugs out of the way so we don't tip anything over.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a couple of exercises. Now, this is just...
And biscuit.
We can explain why we do this as well. This is, to be fair, this is a sort of exercise when you're doing... if you're doing life drawing, it's quite a popular thing to do. So it's kind of like a timed portrait or timed life drawing, which you do in classes like that. Mm-hmm. But what is really good about this kind of exercise, you can use any medium you want. We usually use pencil, pen, charcoal, pastel, whatever you want to use. So we get people to sit around facing each other.
I have pencils.
Are you saying we've got to draw each other?
Yeah. Oh, this is brilliant. Love it. I've got some coloured pencils. I've got pastel. Where are my equipment? Oh, it is. I've got charcoal. Anyone want charcoal pastel pencils?
I'll have charcoal, please. Yeah.
Just hoist my trousers up.
We've got a pencil.
Normal pencil.
Yeah. Soft.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the object of this exercise
This is going to be fun. I don't usually do people.
Yeah, this is going to be funny. I might put mine in
Yeah,
half.
me too.
Because then we can use the other side.
Yeah.
I like a bit of charcoal.
Oh, pastel.
Yeah, I know. Pastels.
Pastels.
So,
It's not the world's biggest table to do this.
So, I know, sorry about this. Should I put that down there?
Yeah, go on then.
I can put that. Can I?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
put
just
that
put
one.
So we do this. I mean, it usually brings a shock to people when we've worked with
does,
everyone,
yes.
going, right, we're going to do self-portraits and they're going to be timed. But the reason why we do this, particularly in what we're doing, it basically gives them no time to think, no panic, and it almost frees their mind. It stops them thinking. So this is why we use this exercise.
Right.
Which I think it works really well.
Yeah.
Because first of all, there's this mad panic when you're doing this kind of exercise. So the timed exercise we do is 10 minutes, then it goes to 5 minutes. Is that right? 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and 1 minute.
Right.
So the 1 minute. So basically, we do it like that to slowly break them down. I'm only kidding. No breaking down going on.
So it's just so you get them sitting around and you get them to do a self-portrait or
Yeah.
a portrait of
Or
a person.
a person opposite,
Yeah.
whoever they're sitting opposite
Yeah.
or
Okay.
whatever.
Right. In my defence,
Mine.
I don't do
And mine.
portraits usually.
This is not what we normally do.
No.
We normally
This
think-
is
so
completely out of my comfort zone.
So we're not going to do a 10-minute sketch and
Thank
you'll
God.
just sit there because it's ridiculous
God.
and it will take ages and we're not going to do the full exercise. So we decided that we're going to do, what was it, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
We're going to do a 2-minute one.
That's not too bad.
So
We can chat
chat.
while
We
we're
can
doing this.
chat as well. Feel free to join in if you
And-
really want to.
And then we may or may not show you the results.
Fair enough.
Here we,
Okay, are we starting then?
here we
Right,
start. Hang
okay.
on, I'm going to
Hang on,
just put the timer
set
on
the
it.
clock.
Right. Start now.
Okay. It's quite hard drawing you when you look it up at me. Like,
Oh my God. So it's
This is the reaction we get, isn't it? when
And
we
this
do
is kind of what happens. Everyone starts going, what are we doing?
I don't think this is going to look much like you,
No,
Mary.
it's just, after that, this is the whole point. It's not about making it look like the person. It's basically just getting everyone just to stop worrying about everything and
Yeah.
go on and just do their, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah,
Whatever.
I like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So it basically, mine looks like ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's difficult because I can't make
That
up my
is
mind whether to
true.
do it with you looking down or looking up. This is the problem.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit difficult because obviously
I
the
think
thing
I
is
would
the
do it
object
down.
of it is we do it.
And you keep moving.
No, but what we do, it's because we do the 10-minute one so they can refer to that as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like we're putting them right in the deep end.
Well, I'm going to do you looking down because you keep looking up so much.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
this is tricky, isn't it? When
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard, but it's good to see it. It's good to see it.
You know what you're putting the poor people through.
Yeah, I know, poor people. But it gives you it's good fun, and they do engage in it, and they start laughing. This is what the key thing is. They start laughing at what they're doing. Oh, there's my phone going. That's not the 2 minutes
I
up,
was
by
going
the
to say,
way.
no joking, that's not the 2 minutes.
Oh, can you believe it? So yeah, it's.
Please don't take offence at this.
Oh, honestly, I don't think I'm doing very well at all. But anyway,
Don't look
I'm
anything
trying
like
to.
you're just trying to get it wrong.
But this is the whole point. It just basically makes people. Well, it's come out. I don't know why that's come out. I don't know.
You're looking like John Lennon at the
Oh,
moment.
And then, there's 2 minutes up.
Oh, God,
no.
oh no!
That's it. So there you
I
go.
cheated. Oh, well, that's terrible.
That's brilliant.
I don't know.
That's great.
Mine's.
Mine's there.
This is good. Mine's well. I was too busy talking with mine. But we don't. You can show it. That's kind of cool. Look.
Not really. It doesn't
So-
look anything like Mary.
Hey.
But anyway, we can show. There's a couple more.
But it was quite fun.
But how did you feel when you did that?
Well, you can't really think of anything. I mean, because you're trying to, you're thinking of the clock, obviously, the time. I've only got 2 minutes. And then you're trying to get the essence of the person, which is quite...
Yeah, yeah.
I can imagine if you do it for like 10 minutes, 5, 3, 2, 1, then it's quite a fun exercise. Because,
It is.
yeah, the first 10 minutes you can really concentrate on what is the person you're looking at,
Yeah.
and then you get the essence, don't you?
Yeah.
Really boil down the essence.
And I mean, I know we did that really short one, and obviously, you know, it's different, isn't it? I mean, we just did that now as an example, but those kind of exercises are really, really good. And I mean, we do that in life. As I said, again, it's a life drawing exercise anyway. So if you're doing it in life drawing, you do that. I remember getting taught that when I was at university. And doing that. So those kind of things. But we use it simply as it's almost like a break, the first lesson, isn't it? Of just getting it out.
Yeah.
Just get it out.
Yeah.
Get over it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't, don't worry about you can't draw. But if you're putting them in that situation, they have to do it. And they don't think. And it really makes them laugh, doesn't it? I mean, like how we were then, and so you can see as we were totally trying to do it. I mean, I wasn't really doing mine because I was too busy. But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It was more about laughing, getting everyone so it's sort of like getting over that whole barrier or whatever is going on. They having to engage and so forth. I thought. You know, but you can see us doing that, it happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
And the excitement of us just going, oh my, what is going on here, you know?
Well, the main thing is to get across is that we're not here to judge your artistic skills.
It's not about
you know,
that.
it's nothing to do with that.
No. And we just all have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
You got another one?
Yeah.
Come on then. What's the next one?
Next one. To get excited. Yeah, I'll take that away.
No more paper.
No, it's not. There is paper. Now this one, we've kind of done it back to front, but this one is the introduction, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the break the ice.
This is called the break the ice.
Okay.
Right. No origami tricks going on here, by the way.
I can do some origami if you want.
So this one is we use this as our icebreaker, don't we? Because we didn't really want to do so many of this technical stuff the other sessions because it is a sitting down doing the portraits and doing that, so we're trying to think of the quicker ways of doing this. So this one is draw we did the name badge, didn't we? But there's also the one that draw on your back.
On your back?
Yeah.
So it's like Chinese whispers, but
Chinese whispers
drawing on your back. Not literally drawing on your back.
You're going to have to run that by me.
Okay. So we did it, and it was very good fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? And it's actually basically, we call this the kind of like the icebreaker because it basically they kind of get to know you, but in a fun. It's quite funny, isn't it? It's just funny.
Okay. What do you do?
Okay.
Right, how are we getting? It's just going to come out on. Yeah, we should be.
It
within,
should do.
We should
It
be
should
within
do.
view.
So, Tracy.
Yeah.
Up there.
Uh-oh.
You can have you use that. You
Oh,
take
use
that
that.
with you.
Okay. So what am I doing?
And then you can do things. So, you've got your bit of paper here. Can we? Come on, right, is that all right?
Yeah. Should fall down.
So can you come here?
Yeah.
It's not a trick or anything.
Right, hold the paper.
Hold the
No, you
paper.
can do it on me, Mary, because you're better at doing the illustration type things than I am. You're better at illustration.
Oh, what as in what I'm going to think of?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to think of something,
Yeah.
and I'm going to draw it on Teresa's back,
Right.
and Teresa's going to interpret it onto your back, and then you're going to put it onto the paper.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So it's all just through feel, in other words.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go for it.
Now I've got to think of something, guys. I've got to think so quickly. Hang on, get your hair.
I'm sorry.
No,
The
that's
way.
right. It's not her. Right, I'm going to draw something.
It's not going to be really, really complicated, is it?
It's not going to be rude, I
But as
promise.
Mary's drawing it on me, I'm going to draw it on you. Oh. Oh.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
So this is kind of like almost team building. Because you're basically working in sync together. Hopefully.
Oh. Oh.
There we
my
go.
word.
I should have actually done a little, carry on, I haven't finished yet.
Oh my God, I don't know where I am in the drawing now.
Oh,
Doesn't
we're
matter.
over here somewhere.
Doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness, it's really
Can I
quite...
start again?
Are you drawing something there? This is definitely something. Oh my God.
Drawing some, something, guys, I promise.
Something recognisable.
I finished it now.
Oh, you finished it, right?
So anyway,
Right, you can tell everybody what it
I
was.
couldn't work out where you were.
No, it's true.
so you can see now that, so that's what the outcome was, but actually it was a pussycat's head. I did a little pussycat because we all like cats, and we've all three of us have got little cats. So I did a
That didn't work so good.
No. But what was really funny about,
Draw me up to a shape that you drew. What did you actually draw?
Okay.
Because it was really confusing thinking about, because you've got to think where your back is, you've got to transmit those through to
Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
really...
But it was
I
really,
didn't feel that at all. This was all over the place.
Yeah.
it's amazing, isn't it? How your body, it was just a cute little.
No, you didn't feel
Oh,
like that at all.
I did feel something with a dot. Yeah.
So that's what it was meant to be, right? That's what it was meant to be. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm going to frame that.
It just felt like a random load of things.
That felt to me too.
But as you can see, like, we're all having a laugh, and that is the whole point of it. Is these breakout little sessions like that. That was our intro, just to get them to get them to understand what we're about.
That's very clever, actually. I think it's fun.
Right? And it's so clever.
Yeah.
And
Is it ever successful? Do people actually do the drawing?
do you know what? No.
That's not just me then.
But as you can see, it's brought a lot of laughter. So this is what is the whole point of us, what we're trying to do, is creating a place where it's safe, it's creative, relaxed, and have a blooming good laugh. Because life is about that, isn't it? It's like everyone, you know what I mean? And if it helps people, then it helps people. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't suit everybody. But these kind of exercises are very... I mean, we enjoy it just by helping others by doing it. But like you said, like those, I mean, it was very short exercises. But they worked. And it was fun.
Yeah.
And all you did was just laughed.
Yeah.
And it was almost like you've forgotten everything that you're doing during the day and you're whatever, isn't it? And you're like, oh, that was a great laugh. I'd like to do that again, you know?
Yeah, it's just creating a little moment in time where you... partly probably because there is an element of panic to it.
Yeah,
Trying to get it right.
it's almost feel the fear and do it anyway.
But I think that in itself, I think it's weird but I think because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day to get it right or wrong. But you still get like, I want to get this right. I want to get this right. Yeah. But if you don't get it right, you just have a laugh about it. So it doesn't matter.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Oodle-doo!
Oodle-doo! And we're on Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Facebook called Oodle-doo Creative Workshops. We do have a website link on there, but
it's too complicated.
it's too complicated.
Our email address is info@oodledoo.com.
Yes.
That's great. So now you know all about Oodle-doo. So I'm going to say thank you.
That's all right.
For coming in.
Yeah.
And doing the exercise. They were a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. That was good.
We'll be back next week. And we've got 2 interviews next week, haven't we?
Yeah,
so
we
far?
have, yeah.
And then more the week after.
Yes, we've got some good ones coming up later.
So 10:45, we'll be back next week.
Yes.
So,
Anyway, lovely to see you all.
Have a good rest of the week, and thanks for joining us at Focus on Art, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.